I've been planning this recommendations video for months. So believe me, I'm going to talk about books that I think that are actually perfect for the summer. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jane and today I'm doing summer book recommendations. I'm so excited. This is the last video in my summer special on my channel. And yes, I've been planning this whole special for months. So I also been reading a lot of summer books, especially contemporary romance in the past few months. So I will have good summer book recommendations for you today. And I'm so excited that I'm finally filming this video. Now most of the books are contemporary romance, although there is also other genres, but also most of the books are actually books that are in summer with summer vibes. And I'm also going to talk about a few books that aren't in summer vibes. They just feel to me like good books to read in the season, but most of the books are actually in summer. Now, because there is a lot of summer books, I'm going to just start with the first book, and this is Bloom by Kevin Panetta and Savannah Wanchoe. And this is a graphic novel because I feel like graphic novels are really fun and easy, which I think is the best books to read in the summer. I read it only this week in my previous video, my summer reading vlog, and I loved this graphic novel so much. It has really summery vibes, and I think that the illustrations are really beautiful, and also the whole graphic novel is in blue ink, which is cool. Like, I love when graphic novels do it. Basically, this is a male romance, and one of the main characters, Harry, really wants to leave the town, but his family really needs him in their bakery. So he is trying to get a replacement for him, another employee, and he finds Hector, and Hector really loves to bake, so this is the perfect job for him. A really cute contemporary romance. Again, really summery vibes. I feel like in a graphic novel, you feel the vibes the most because you see it visually. And yes, it was just so fun and so cute, and the summer is the perfect time to read it. The next book is Lovebot Taipei by Abigail Hingwen, and this is a coming-of-age story that I feel was written in a really good way. Now, basically, the main character of the story, Ever, is a teenager who dreams to be a dancer, but she lives with her really strict Asian parents, and because her parents are so strict, they sent her to a summer camp, but like a really strict summer camp. But when Ever gets to the summer camp, she realized that all the teenagers there are actually having a lot of fun, and there is the Lovebot Taipei, which is the perfect place to fall in love. So this is a really cute contemporary story, also takes place in summer. And again, I feel like the main theme with this book is coming of age story. So if you are looking for books like this, especially if you are in the teenage age who is going to finish high school, I feel like this is a really good book to read. I love the plot, it was really cute. And in Goodreads it actually says that this is a first book in a series. I'm not sure if there is going to be a second book or when it's going to come out, but I think that you can read it as standalone. Just the characters, everything was really cute. And yes, I really enjoyed it because again, it felt like a really well-made coming-of-age story. And usually I'm not really enjoying coming-of-age stories, and I think that the cover is really pretty. The next book is a book that I already recommended in the past on my channel, but I can't not recommend it in this video because this is the perfect summer read. And this book is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, which is the perfect enemies to lovers, fake dating, summery vibe book. I loved it so much. I listened to it in an audiobook, and the summer vibes in this book are amazing. Basically, this book is double POV, a woman and a man, and the woman's sister and the man's brother are going to get married, but there is a food poisoning in the wedding. And basically what happens is that the two main characters need to go to the honeymoon because their siblings can't, and they need to pretend that they are married although that they are enemies. It was made really good. Like, I couldn't stop reading this book. I also feel like this is one of those books that I keep hearing only good things about. Like, I see this book in so many recommendations video, and I really can get why. This is really good book. So if you love enemies to lovers, if you like fake dating, if you love adult romance, yes, this is an adult romance, so there is going to be steamy moments, I think this is the perfect book, especially in the summer because they are going to a summer honeymoon. I think it's in Hawaii. Maybe I'm not remembering right, but something like this. Again, perfect book to read in the summer. The next book is You Have a Match by Emma Lord, which is also a book that I read in my summer reading vlog, and I was so pleasantly surprised from this book. This is another coming-of-age story, which is interesting because I just told you that I'm not the biggest fan of coming-of-age stories, but this story was made really well, and like, I was so surprised because I just picked up a random audiobook with summer vibes for my vlog, and I didn't really expect much. And when I started to listen to this book, I just couldn't couldn't stop listening. It was so fun. This book gives me major The Parent Trap vibes. If you love the movie, I think that you are really going to love the book, because basically the main character of the story is doing a DNA test and she is finding out that she is a lost sister. And I feel like there is so much in this book. There is also the family plot. There is also the romance plot. I think that the characters are really unique. It wasn't perfect, but I really enjoyed it. And the pace of the story was really fast. Everything was fitting so well together. And also the summer vibes is because the main character is going to a summer camp because her sister works in the summer camp, so they can like get to know each other. So yes, it also has summery vibes, which is the whole point of this summer book recommendations. And yes, it was really cute, which is perfect to read in the summer. Now the next book is a book that you probably heard of a lot of time ago, and this is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. And yes, I know it was a really popular book, but I think it's really worth me recommending on this book because first of all, it has the perfect summer vibes. The main character of the story goes every summer to a family vacation because her family is rich and they are going to their summer island, if I'm not mistaken. So there is major summer vibes. And I do really think that if you didn't read this book until today, you really should, because this is definitely one of my most favorite books ever. And I don't want to tell you too much about the story because I think that the best way to read it is without knowing too much. There is a lot of things and there is a big mystery, and please avoid spoilers because spoilers can ruin your whole experience with this book. Just one of my favorite books ever. I loved the plot so much. I also love the writing, and yes, I just can't not recommend one of my most favorite books, especially because it has major summery vibes. Read We Were Liars. So good. Now I have an honorable mention of two books that I personally didn't really enjoy, but I do think that they are really good books that were written well with good characters. And the main reason that I didn't enjoy them is because I feel that they are more character-driven stories and I'm more of a plot-driven reader. But if you are a character-driven reader, I think that you are really going to love the two next books. And those are Beach Read by Emily Henry and Shaped by Angie Hockman. Beach Read is more dramatic and more emotional, and Shaped is more of a rom-com. And I feel like the summer vibes in Shaped are major. Like this is one of the most summer vibe books that I ever read. The summer vibe in this one is such a big part of the story. So yes, I do think those are really good books, but they just weren't personally for me. But if you're a character-driven reader, I think you should check them out. Now, those were the books with the major summery vibes. And now I'm going to talk about books that I really think that they are really perfect to read in the summer, but they don't take place in summer and they don't have summery vibes. They're just good, in my opinion, to read in this season. And the first book is 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elson. I enjoyed this book so much, and it actually takes place in the opposite season of summer because it takes place in the winter vacation and there is Christmas and New Year's Eve. But except the setting, I feel like this is a really good book to read in the summer because this is a really good romance contemporary story, a really fast-paced read. And I feel like summer is a really good season to read fast-paced contemporary stories because it's just such a fun time. Basically, the main character of the story is a teenager who goes to a winter vacation where her grandmother and all of her cousins lives, and she has a really big family and a really protective family. And in the beginning of the story, she and her boyfriend breaks up and her family wants her to feel good, so they make her a challenge and they make her to go to 10 blind dates with 10 different guys, and every date another member of the family choose with who she's going to go to this date. It's a really fast-paced romance book. I enjoyed it so much. I read it in one day and I personally listened to it in an audiobook, and I would definitely recommend the audiobook. It just felt really perfect. And the main thing that I really enjoyed from the story is that everything actually felt really genuine. I felt like the characters actually act like people would act in real life, and the plot was really logical, and it sounds like a really weird story because in real life you are not going to go to blind dates with 10 different guys, or yes, do your thing. But although the idea doesn't sound realistic, the book and the plot made it feel really realistic. And yes, I really love the characters. I really love the plot. I was so surprised from this book, and I didn't see anyone talk about this book, although it's so good. So I really want to hype up this book a little bit. Yes, such a good book. Now we are done with the contemporary book. I do think that romance contemporary is the most suitable genre to read in the summer, but not really. I personally more of a fantasy reader, so I do want to recommend a few books that I think that are really good to read in the summer, although that they are not romance contemporaries. And the first book is actually horrible, but I do think it's really suitable for the summer. And this is Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power. Now, Rory Power is the author who wrote Wilder Girls, and I'm saying it because the vibe from Wilder Girls and from Burn Our Bodies Down is so different. And I actually saw so many reviews saying that, and I personally didn't enjoy Wilder Girls at all. I DNF this book, but this book was just so different in everything. In the plot, in the characters, even the writing. It didn't felt from the same author. And actually this story also takes place in summer, in the summer vacation, because this story is following a teenager who lived with her mother her whole life, but she really wants to know more about her family, especially because her relationship with her mother isn't the best. So she finds out more information about her grandmother, and she's going to the town where her mother lived in to find more answers. Sounds a generic idea, but the plot was actually so good. The mystery and the twists and everything was really well made. Now, the pacing isn't the fastest. I think that this is those kind of stories that you need to really relax and to really get into the story. The writing is really good. Like, you really feel the vibe and you really feel the emotions of the main character. And I just really think that the vibe of the book is really good for the summer. Again, it takes place in summer. It's also with sapphic romance. And yes, I do think this is a really good book with really good plot, and I would definitely recommend it in the summer. And now I'm going to recommend a fantasy series that there is so many recommendations for this series, and I'm talking about the Folk of the Air trilogy, The Cruel Prince, the first book. I don't think this is a perfect fantasy series. This is definitely not all-time favorite fantasy series, but I think that this is perfect for the summer because the books are really easy to read, really quick. The writing is really easy, but still really poetically beautiful. The story is mostly fast-paced, and all three books are fairly short. I actually binge read the whole three books in 48 hours. It's a really quick and fun series. It's enemies to lovers. It's high fantasy about fae, and I feel like this is a really casual high fantasy because I do feel like a lot of high fantasies are really full with information, and the world building in this trilogy is really good. There is a lot of information, but everything feels so much easier and so much more easy to read and fun to read. If you're thinking about reading this trilogy, I think that reading it in the summer is the perfect timing to do it because again, it's just fun, it's quick. The romance here is really intense, especially in the second and the fourth book, and I also feel like this is a series that everyone will enjoy. Maybe it's not going to be an all-time favorite, but it's a really good fantasy series to pass your time with and just so fun. I had a really good time reading this whole trilogy. So yes, I think this is the perfect fantasy to read in the summer. So yes, those were my summer book recommendations. The books that I think that are perfect to read in the summer. Also because the summer vibes, and also because so many other reasons. I really hope you found some good summer recommendations in this video. I just loved making this whole summer special so much, and maybe I will do more seasonal specials. I just love seasons. And yes, I'm uploading 2 times a week on Sundays and Wednesdays, but until the next video, you can check more videos by me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone!